And Telegram.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Perfect. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So thanks for waiting for us, everyone. Welcome to DoraHacks YouTube and Bilibili channel. This is the workshop episode 1 from Polygon-Grants hackathon. And today we welcome Yuling Ma from Polygon. She's the integration lead from Polygon, and she's going to talk about scaling Ethereum with Polygon. Okay, before her starts, I'm also make a very short commercial here. Polygon-Grants hackathon is ongoing. It is the 2nd day, and we have received over 15 projects for now. So if you are going to apply for the grants hackathon and going to get a share of the $100K prize pool and more chances to VC funds, please join us at hackerlink.io, or you can find us on Twitter at Polygon or at DoraHacks. There are the entrance of this hackathon. Okay, without further ado, let's welcome Yuling to start her workshop. Thanks for joining us for the first workshop of this hackathon, Yuling. Please start.
Sure, it sounds amazing. Thanks, Claire, for the introduction. So then today, the workshop is about Polygon. So then Polygon, we call this as Ethereum of Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains. So then before we start on the workshop today, I would like to quickly go over what's going to be covered today during the workshop. So then I will actually share the link to this file. So then what's going to be covered as what we have here, we're going to talk about how to connect to Polygon, how to do deployments on Polygon, and what's the best way to reduce user friction on Web3. And we're also going to talk about, of course, cross-network asset transfer with Polygon POS bridge. And then if we have enough time, we're also going to talk about Oracle indexing and also decentralized storage on Polygon. So then first thing, let's just looked at Polygon's scaling solution as well as Polygon's architecture first. So let's just come to our slides right here. So then one thing first, as today's workshop is going to be focused on the technical part of doing development on Polygon, right? And also the scaling solutions and different features on Polygon from the technical perspective. So then for you to get a more comprehensive understanding of Polygon, its history and also its ecosystem, as well as in-depth coverage on its architecture, please feel free to check out the first Kickstart session with Polygon's co-founder Sandeep, and also VP of Growth Arjun. So then just a quick overview on solution to Ethereum scaling, right? So then, as we know, for Ethereum a lot of developers or users have been experiencing like the delay, right, and low throughput and high gas fee on this congested network, unfortunately. So Polygon is a scaling solution that provides blazing fast, secure, and decentralized network. So then it's more like a commit chain instead of side chain. The reason for that is because if we just look at the picture here on the right, we will see that on the top we have Ethereum mainnet here, right? So then at the bottom we have Polygon or the Matic, which is the previous name for Polygon. So then we have the sidechain here. So for every single transactions that happen on the Polygon or the Matic sidechain, they are going to be committed via Merkle tree route back to Ethereum. So therefore, just for all the transactions that happen on Polygon, there's a way for you to be able to check that on the Ethereum mainnet. So for that, we call this as a checkpoint, right? So then the checkpoint is actually submitted to Ethereum through Polygon's validators. And at this point, we already have 100 POS validators. So because of this, people like to call Polygon as a commit chain instead of a side chain. So then, just overall, the architecture is built on the event-driven mechanism. So for every single, so for the transactions about the cross Polygon bridge transfers, right? So state sync event is going to be triggered on the Ethereum mainnet. And then the validators is going to pick up the event and then propagate the event to the Polygon side. And then, the sync deposit is going to happen. And then with the cross bridge transfer from the Polygon side to Ethereum side, right? So first, with a token, the user needs to burn the token on the Polygon side first before it can exit to the Ethereum side, right? So then therefore we can avoid double counting for the same amount of token. So then as we said that there's a checkpoint provided. So then the burning transaction is gonna be checked against this checkpoint and to see if the burning actually happened on Polygon side, right? So once the checkpoint is completed and then we have the proof that the burning actually happens, then the user is able to get their fund back from the Polygon side to Ethereum side. So then that is the overall flow about a deposit from the Ethereum to Polygon side and to withdraw or to exit from Polygon side to Ethereum. So then, just a quick look at the current problem that we face with the Ethereum ecosystem. So then, just like in terms of scaling solutions, we realize that there's no one size fits all. So just take Polygon's own solutions, for example, here. In 2017, when the scaling solutions was first provided by Polygon, we actually provide Plasma solution in that, it's actually a layer 2 solution and it's highly secure and it's a decentralized solution. The only drawback, would be that there's like a 7-day challenging period, right, to make sure that the fund is actually secure, right? So then during those 7-day periods, if anyone in the community would challenge the validity of the transaction, then the fund is going to be held, right? So then as we can see, this solution, although it provides security, but it may not fit dApps like gaming dApps or NFTs or for some DeFi dApps as well, right? So because of that, Polygon provided proof of stake bridge solution in addition to Plasma. So then not only it's secure, decentralized, but it's a lot faster as well, right? So then as the ecosystem evolve, as we can see, there's no one size fits all solution, and so then which is a good thing, because we're able to open up to more new innovations in the scaling arena, right? So then the things that how are we gonna aggregate all the different new innovations into one big umbrella, and then have the developers to choose which one would be able to fit their requirements the most. So then we're going to cover that in a bit with Polygon's solution. And so then another issue is that mainly forks of popular implementations, they're scattered, and then the biased information confuse developers, right? And then of course there's this never-ending list of Ethereum killer that basically are being developed, and this is also is due to the scalability and cost concerns of Ethereum as well, right? But for us, as a true believer of Ethereum and a supporter of Ethereum, we really want to help Ethereum scale. So then the solution that Polygon provides is this so-called Swiss Army knife solution. So then just for this picture that you see, we have Ethereum as a main hub in the center of this Polygon, right? So then just on different nodes of this Polygon, you will be able to see that there's Polygon's POS Plasma chain, and then there's also ZK rollup and optimistic rollups as well. And then there could be some standalone sidechain, or it can have enterprise chains as well, right? So then this acts as an aggregator in the way that is able to aggregate not only the secure chains, but also the standalone chains, right? And then the fact that we have Ethereum as a main hub, we are able to utilize the mature ecosystem of Ethereum. Should that be the tooling or the libraries, or just like different support in this ecosystem. So by providing this solution through Polygon SDK, we're able to turn Ethereum into a truly multi-chain system in this sense. So that like all those different solutions are combined into this big Polygon umbrella, and we actually hand over the freedom and the flexibility back to the developer, and to have them choose which one will go best with their dApp. All right, so then take a quick look at the power of Polygon. So then at this point, we have over 600 dApps on board. It's Polygon, and then as you can see, the daily transactions on Polygon has reached over 6 million transactions, so then over 2 billion Matic had been staked for security, and so for the block time on Polygon is 2 seconds finality on the main chain. And then for the average transaction cost, you can see that it's near zero, right? And then Polygon, it's a EVM compatible chain as well. Awesome. So then here those are like the different dApps that have aborted Polygon. So then we can just quickly check another community builds site, which has updated information on dApps on Polygon. So then there are DeFi dApps, as you can see, the list just goes on and on. And so then there's also NFT gaming, and you will be able to see wallets that currently support Polygon and different oracles and for dev toolings as well, right? Okay, so then this is a brief overall walkthrough of Polygon architecture and the scaling solution that it provides. So then after this, I would like to actually share a good news with everyone here, which is Polygon, which is if you are an Ethereum developer at this point, then you're already a Polygon developer. So you're able to do any dApps on Polygon without learning any new stack at this point. And all the tooling, the libraries are currently available in the Ethereum ecosystem. You're able to use that the way it is on Polygon. So then with that said, let's first get to our deployment on Polygon, or how you first connect to Polygon. So then I'll just start with MetaMask first for connecting with Polygon. So the information for Polygon network details, you're able to find them on the documentation. So you can go to matic.network and then docs, and then once you're there, you can just come to network details and then network. And then here you will be able to find two different tabs, right? So one is for Polygon mainnets, and the other one is for Mumbai testnet. And today we will be looking at the testnet. So then with that, I think let's just start configure this in MetaMask. So first, I think I already have this available, and I would need to delete my Polygon testnet here. So delete. All right. So then the first thing that we want to do here is that we want to click on this drop-down list, right? And then from here, go ahead and select custom RPC. And then just give a name that you like, Matic multi-testnet. Let's make it that. And then for the RPC URL, you're able to copy it over from the doc on the left, right? So then I'll just copy over one of them listed there. And then for chain ID, as we can see, it's 80001. So I'm gonna select here. Okay, and then for the block explorer information, it's also available here as well. So our current symbol is Matic. That is the equivalent of Ether on Ethereum. So then that is what we use to pay gas fees on Polygon. And then for the block explorer, I also get that information on the doc as well. So then you click on save, and then there you have it, right? So we have this Matic Mumbai testnet information here. So now that we have this configured in MetaMask, let's first get some test Matic token for our deployment and transaction on Polygon side. And to do that, let me just first share the link here. And this is for Polygon network information. And then for us to get some test token on Polygon, we come to forced.matic.network. Again, this link is also available on Polygon doc as well. So then once you're here, go ahead and select Matic token. And this is for Mumbai testnet. And then we want to copy over our MetaMask account information here, right? So then I'll just click on this account to copy the address over and then paste it in here, and then you submit. So here it's going to ask you to confirm the network detail information. So then they look right to me, and I'll just go ahead and do confirm. And by the way, this token address is a Meta token address, and it's the same on both the Polygon mainnet and testnet. So then we just go ahead and do confirm, and just within a short time you will be able to get okay. So then I already got some token, so you will be able to get some test token. All right, so then we're done with this step, and now let's just come to Remix, and let's just deploy the first smart contract on Polygon. So then as you can see here, I have a really simple smart contract called counter, right? So then this one, it basically just defines some public state variables, and then I have two simple functions, increments and decrements, and then in there I basically would just emit the two separate events, right? So then very straightforward. And then here we need to, in Remix, select the environment injected Web3. And then as you can see, once I select injected Web3, you can see here it displays the current network it is connecting to, right? So then we have the network chain ID 80001, and this is a chain ID for Polygon testnet. Okay, so then this looks good, and then we can just go ahead and deploy. And of course, before we do that, we can compile it first, passed, and then we just do deploy. All right, so to do deployment, of course, we're gonna pay the gas fee for it, right? So you confirm this, and it's done. So then this is the contract address on Polygon testnet Mumbai. And to take a look at it in the Explorer, we can just come to Mumbai polygonscan.com. So then we paste over the contract address here. As you can see, this is a contract creation transaction, and it's just created like 27 seconds ago, and it's created by my MetaMask account here. This one, right? So then we have this information. Great. So then this is how you do it in Remix. All right, so then if there's any questions that you would like to raise, please feel free to type that in the chat here. And I'll also try to save 5 to 10 minutes in the end to do the Q&A. Okay, so then the next thing is that how we can do the deployment on Truffle. So with that, again, this information, I would like to first show you on the dock. So on the dock, we will be able to see here deploying on Matic, right? So then here it provides you 3 different options. The first is with the Remix, and then Truffle, and then hard hats. So we just demonstrated Remix, and I'll be demonstrating Truffle. And for hard hats, if you are interested, just feel free to go over the steps offline. So then with Truffle, as you can see, we basically just come to the Truffle config file the same way as what you do with Ethereum testnets, right? So all you have to do is to add this piece of information in your existing Truffle config file, and everything else can stay the way it is. And this is all you need to do the deployment through Truffle onto Polygon. So let's just try it out on our own. So then here, you can see that again, I have a very simple smart contract. And then this time it's a ERC20 smart contract. So then you can see that I'm importing Open Zeppelin's ERC20 smart contract implementation. And if you remember, I said that with Polygon, we're able to utilize all the existing libraries or toolings or wallets as well, right? So then we're able to utilize as is, right? So then this is a example. I'm able to just import ERC20 implementation the way that I would do with the development Ethereum. So then with this import, then my implementation is rather straightforward. And I only had to override its name, symbol, and its initial supply information. And I'm ready to mint. So then with this, we need to come to Truffle config.js file, right? So then here, we basically just copy over what we have in the doc, the entry that we have for Matic, right? And of course, this is a name. You can call this as Matic, or you can call this as a Polygon, just to make sure that like when you run the Truffle migrate, the name needs to be consistent as the one that you use in this Truffle config file. So then in my case, I actually just call it as Polygon, right? And then everything else is pretty much the same. The only thing is that if you pay attention to here, I actually purposely displayed my dedicated URL with Matic visual here. So then you see the additional information here, right? So then it's recommended to actually apply for the dedicated RPC URL with the RPC provider. The reason being that if you do not have your project ID applied with them, then you're gonna run into the rate limiting with everyone else using the shared RPC URL, right? So then that can be annoying sometimes when the limit is reached. Of course, with this, you have the rate limiting as well, but then this information is only available to yourself, and then this URL is also used by you, so it helps a lot. So then I have this information here, and of course, we usually would just not disclose this information in Truffle config file, and instead we would put this into a env file. But I show it here just for demonstration purpose. So then once we have this information added to Truffle config.js file, again, you can just feel free to copy over what we currently have on the doc to here. It works as well. So then once we have that information, and of course you need to make sure that you have some test tokens to do the deployment, then you're able to just run Truffle migrate -- network. As I call this as Polygon, right? So then here in my Truffle commands, I just need to specify the consistent name, Polygon. Otherwise, if you have Matic there, and here you would just use network Matic instead. And then I want to do -- reset. All right, so then as you can see, the deployment process is exactly the same as what you would do with deployment on Ethereum here through Truffle, right? Okay, so then while it's doing the development, it's doing the deployment on Polygon, let's just come to our next topic, and then we can check back here in a second. So then, so far we have covered how you would do the configuration of Polygon network, and in order to connect to Polygon, and also how you would get some test tokens to do the deployment or to do the transactions, right? So for example, the transaction that we do, I'll just quickly show you. If we're just going back to the Remix project, right? We can just do some transactions here. Let's just first see what the count is. Okay, it is 0 because it's a read transaction, so it's not going to cost me any gas fee. But then if I do increment, right? So then here you'll see MetaMask is popping up, and it's asking me to pay the gas fee, right? So then there we go. So then in order to do the right transaction, because it's changing the value of counts, right? It's writing to the blockchain, and then therefore you see like this count has changed, right? So then we need to pay gas fee to do the right transactions. And so then at this point, we see that first we're going to do the configuration in MetaMask in order to connect to the network. And then we need to get some tokens in order to do transactions on the network, right? So then this can be a tedious process for the users who do not have the technical background to support it, right? So then that brings us to the next topic, which is how can we help reduce the user friction with Web3 apps? And then let's just quickly check back. Okay, so then it seems that our deployments in Truffle is done as well. So then again, if you just copy over this transaction hash, you will be able to check it in Mumbai Polygon Scan Explorer as well. So I'll just skip that part. So then back to how we can help reduce the user friction with Web3, right? And it's not just Polygon, it's just like the overall user friction with Web3 dApps. We can help reduce the friction in 2 different ways. So then the first is, of course, the configuration to the network. So for that, please check out the custom network API provided by MetaMask itself. So then this one allows one-click configuration of a network, and also it supports switch to a different network with one click as well. So then here, as you can see, it supports layer 2 networks like Polygon, right? So then I'll copy over this link for your information as well. And then to demonstrate how this can help reduce the user friction, I would like to introduce you guys to dApp that we have in Polygon, and it's actually built by the community as well. So then that is called NFT Minter, and let me just open this dApp right now. I already have it. Okay, so then this is a NFT Minter, and here, if you just come to mint.nft.today, and then here we have a bridge, right? So then, so for example, if I do not have the information available if I do not have the information available in MetaMask for my Mumbai testnet, so I think what I can do is that I can delete this configuration Matic Mumbai testnet in MetaMask. Awesome. So then here, I basically already deleted that information in MetaMask. And then if I just click the button here, it's gonna ask if I want to add this network. And once I check the detailed information here, and I can just go ahead and prove. And then it's asking if I would like to switch to the network. And then if I do switch, and I'm on the testnet, right? So then, as you can see, that this Matic testnet has just been added to my MetaMask configuration, and I didn't have to copy over all the information from the doc as I was demonstrating earlier, right? So then this one-click configuration, you're welcome to implement that in your hackathon project. So then that is one way, right? Another way is that, remember, the user would always have to get some token in order to do transactions on the DApp, right? So then how can we cover that? The way to do it is through meta transaction. So then with meta transaction, as you can see here, we basically on Polygon have different options here, right? So then we will have the network agnostic meta transaction feature by gas station network here. And also we have by economy as well. And so then what it does is that it will give the signed transaction to Ray layer, and the Ray layer will make the transaction happen on EVM. So then you can develop the Ray layer infrastructure where you can see here, right? So then you can develop this Ray layer infrastructure on your own, or just with a gas station network, or you can also utilize Biconomy's Maxa SDK to to use the Ray layer infrastructure developed by Biconomy. So it's more straightforward to use as well. So that, just to feel free to check out Biconomy's own doc. And then here you will be able to see how they're able to enable gasless transactions with Maxa. And especially, just with Polygon's Matic token, and just with the near zero gas fee that we pay for transactions on Polygon, it actually makes a lot more sense for the project to actually provide the gasless transaction service to the users, right? Again, this is a great way to reduce user friction, as the cost is so low, it's totally affordable for just for the dev or for the project to be able to cover that cost for the users to be able to use our project. And then the way that Minter does is we can just quickly check out that as well. So then here, this is the NFT Minter project that we saw earlier, and then through its bridge, we're able to do this one-click configuration of the network, and also we're able to switch network as well. So then for the Minter, it basically utilizes the meta transaction provided by Biconomy, and so then the user is able to mint NFT token without even having to realize that there's a blockchain involved, or there's a transaction cost involved. So then to demonstrate it, we can just switch to a totally unrelated network here, right? So what about Rinkeby? I think it's perfect because here we have no asset in this account on Rinkeby. And then let's just browse a file. Okay, so then this one use IPFS for image and also for metadata of the NFT token as well, right? So then I'll just give a title. All right, and then wallets is not connected, so I need to connect my wallet. And yep, so then here I'm connected to this account on Runkebi. Perfect. And now let's just mint an NFT. And then we see that JSON data is being uploaded to IPFS as well. So then speaking of IPFS, that is the decentralized storage here, like we have on Polygon that you can use, right? And also Filecoin bridge is currently available on testnet as well. So then I think it's actually available on the mainnet as well. So feel free to check that out as well. And then it's being subsidized by Polygon for the Filecoin fee. So just at this point, you don't have to get the Filecoin token to pay for the storage on Filecoin. You basically just pay the Matic token to do storage on Filecoin. But at this point, because of the sponsorship of Polygon, so you don't have to pay a fee to be able to store your NFT information on Filecoin. So then that is another option that you can consider for decentralized exchange. Okay, so then while this one is minting, it's actually taking a slightly longer time today, but it's going to mint, and then it's going to provide a transaction hash, and then we will have an NFT token in hand. Okay, so then if we just come back to the doc here, right? So then you will be able to see that we went through how to connect to Polygon and how you would switch to Polygon with the custom API by MetaMask, right? And also the network agnostic transaction, the meta transaction provided by Economy SDK, and so then it's I think my battery just died. Sorry about it. So then so then this is the main function for the meta transaction, execute meta transaction. And then this is a code snippet, how we do it for NFT minter. And then, so right now we're going to talk about cross-chain asset transfer. And then with that, let me just quickly check the NFT minter. I just want to start a different session. Okay, file is uploaded. All right. All right, so then for cross-chain asset transfer, this feature is actually used the most by different devs, right? So then, so if you have some assets on Ethereum, let's say if it's a ERC20 token, and how would you bring it to Polygon side? Because once you're on Polygon side, then you are able to do a swap to other tokens on Polygon side. And also you're able to transfer to different accounts on Polygon side, right? And with minimum transaction fees. So it makes a lot of sense for you to actually to do the transactions on Polygon side. And then when you're done with all the transactions, and if you want to get that asset back to Ethereum, then you're able to withdraw, right? So then how do you actually do it? And if the token has already been mapped to the Polygon side, right? Then you will be able to just utilize Matic.js API to do very simple steps as what we show here, right? So then for cross-chain asset transfer, the deposit, all you have to do is first you need to call the approve ERC20 for deposit. And basically what it does is that it would just lock the token that you're gonna transfer to the Polygon side. It's gonna lock this token in your smart contract called predicates. And then once the token is locked, the event is gonna be emitted as part of the state sync mechanism. And then, as we said, the validators are gonna pick up the event and then is going to propagate this message up to the child token on the Polygon. And then the token is going to be minted on the Polygon side, right? So then, so then this whole process, we basically don't have to know the details about it. All we have to do is to utilize those two simple APIs provided by Matic.js. So then the first you approve ERC20 for deposit, and then you just call deposit ERC20 for user. And then here you specify the token. It would be the address of the token. And then you specify which address you would like, to have this ERC20 token to be deposited to. And then you would like to specify the amount information as well, right? So then very straightforward. And then with withdrawal, it's actually a two-step process. So then the first step is that in order to bring this token back to Ethereum, you first need to burn this on the Polygon side to avoid double accounting, right? And then again, you use the API burn ERC, and then you pass in the amounts and the token information. And once it's burned, you will have the transaction hash as the burn proof. So that with that burn proof, as we said, we're able to provide this burn proof to Ethereum, and then it's going to check against the checkpoint, right? That we said, like all the transactions that happen on Polygon are going to be checkpointed to Ethereum to later check the validity of the transactions on Polygon to see if it happens at all. So then once we have this burn transactions proof, we're able to submit it here, the burn transaction hash, right? So then we're able to submit it to Ethereum to have it checked to see if it's legit. And once the checks is over, then the previously locked asset on Ethereum side, right? Like when we approve it, this locked asset is going to be released and it's going to go back to the user's account who made the exit from Polygon, right? So then all those details, again, you don't have to worry about. You just have to call those two simple API provided by Matic.js, burn ERC20 and exit ERC20, and all the details that I talked about are going to be taken care for you. And of course, if you prefer to directly interact with the smart contracts, you can also use Web3.js or Ether.js as well. But then those are like a very, very straightforward way to use, right? So then this is for when you have your tokens mapped. So what if you don't have the token mapped? What if your dApp is developed Ethereum only, and you have your own token and you're looking to actually bring this token for the first time to Polygon. So for that, you will be able to map your token to Polygon through the mapper that we provide on Polygon. So then to do that, I'll just show you here on the dock, right? So then we have Ethereum to Polygon here, and then here we look at POS, proof of stake bridge, and mapping asset using POS, right? So then for here, it basically has those 4 simple steps. So then the first, you already have this token contract deployed on the root chain, right, which is the Ethereum chain. And then make sure that your child token has deposit and withdrawal functions. So for example, you can just refer to this code snippet that we have for a ERC20 token implementation, is that the requirements for you is to implement deposit and withdrawal functions. And after you make sure that you have that, you can just go ahead and deploy this child token on Polygon chain. And once that is done, you are able to submit a mapping request with the link here, right? So then this is the mapper that we have, right? So here's the link. And then basically you can just new mapping request and then select your token type. And then for the network, if it's on Mumbai testnet, you can select that, and then you're able to do Ethereum token address for your token smart contract, and then for Polygon token address for your Polygon smart contract, and then you just provide all those information and you click on submit. And after a few days, this token is going to be mapped, given that your smart contract on Polygon, your child token implementation meets the requirements. So as you can see here, we actually have optional here, right? So then in some cases, you don't even have to provide a Polygon token implementation, and you don't need to deploy this on your own. So then those are for when you have a standard implementation for the ERC tokens, right? Then Polygon is able to deploy the smart contract, the child token smart contract on Polygon for you. So you just have to leave this field as blank, and that's gonna happen for you automatically, right? So then just to summarize, the way that you use Polygon, right? Of course, you can just go straightforward and, just to deploy your dApp entirely on Polygon. That way you're able to save cost, right? And have very high throughput. And another way is that if you already have a dApp on Ethereum, how do you take advantage of Polygon's scaling solution? So you can do that by utilizing the mapping mechanism that we have here, right? And in order for you to do that, first, of course, you already have the smart contract deployed on Ethereum. And now you just have to have a counterpart smart contract on Polygon, and then you link them together through the mapper tool, right? So then for you to have the smart contract on Polygon, it basically is using the same smart contract that you have on Ethereum. But you need to meet 2 other requirements. One is to have the deposit function, and then the other one is to have the withdrawal function, and that is all you need. But then if you have a very basic ERC token implementation, then you don't even need to provide Polygon smart contract implementation. You can just skip the you can just skip the second and the third step here, right? And then you can just directly submit a mapping request and leaving the Polygon smart contract address as blank, and then you're good to go. So then that's how you would bring your Ethereum dApp to Polygon, right? And then once you have this token mapped on Polygon, you basically just use matic.js API to do the deposit and to do withdrawal of the asset, right? Simple. So then that is what I would like to cover today. And as we basically don't have much time left, I would like to save the last few minutes for Q&A. Please feel free to type in chat, or just to open your mic and ask. Okay. What do I do as an integration lead at Polygon? Yeah, so then a few things, as you can see today, is that I give workshops, right, just to help devs to onboard Polygon, and also just to provide support to the users on Polygon. So just to answer their queries and just help with the issues that they may run into with how to use Polygon, and also to develop tooling solutions. So for example, the tooling that we have here, I can just take this opportunity to demonstrate one of the tooling that we have, and it may come in handy for you guys as well. And so then this one is a gas tracker that you have on Polygon Scan, right? So then this one is actually just launched. So so then for here, you're able to check all the gas status, right? So what is the standard gas price and fast, stuff like that. And then we also have the equivalent on Polygon as well. So Polygon gas station. So that like for here, you're also able to get similar information as well, and also you're able to get the checkpoint information as well. So yeah, so then you're able to get this and the latest blog on Polygon information as well. So and yeah, so then for tooling solutions like this, does that answer the question? Okay, the second, how can I join Polygon Grant Hackathon without a project in building? Interesting. So I'm not the best person to answer your question. So, just you may want to reach out to Polygon Discord with the question here.
Okay, maybe I can add something to this question. If you are a newbie in the developers world, you can join as a workshop audience like you're doing right now, because you are watching Yuling's workshop to the Polygon ecosystem. That's a great primer workshop for newbies in this ecosystem. And you can join Polygon Discord to find more friends that maybe you can like team up to build from a very simple project and apply for this grant hackathon. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks, Yuling, for today's workshop. Very informative, very educational. And guys, don't forget, we were going to have Yuling again in our channel to have a second workshop on NFT on September, I think that's 4th, right?
Yeah, so then, so thanks for the heads up on this. It's going to be an amazing workshop. So then the workshop is actually going to be, provided by Brian. I'm sure like a lot of devs from Chinese community may have known Brian. He's in Beijing, China. So then it's going to be a great workshop. So I really look forward to it.
Yeah, Brian is a very young and talented developer in Polygon. He's from Tsinghua University in Beijing.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking forward to his workshop soon. So guys, don't forget to follow Polygon and DoraHacks on Twitter to follow up the latest updates of this hackathon. And again, this hackathon is ongoing until the end of October. So don't hesitate to register your project on the website hackerlink.io, or you can also join this hackathon from Polygon-Grants-hackathon.com. Yes, they applied for a domain for this hackathon. So great. Thanks, Yuling, again for today's workshop.
Yes,
And
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to see you again tomorrow evening. We will also have a workshop delivered by Even from Wireless. So see you tomorrow, guys. Goodbye, Yuling.
Bye.